In kindergarten, I would always read a story about the time the color yellow and the color blue got in a fight and they became the color green. I imagine something similar happened between a 911, a Tesla Model S, and a Hyundai Sonata. And folks, the world's much better for it. This is the Hyundai Ioniq 6, and it is a real interesting car. I'm Jake, you're watching Gas Guzzlers. Let's get into it. Let's start by talking about the exterior features of the Hyundai Ioniq 6. First of all, I want to draw your attention to the headlights. Now, of course, they have everything you'd expect from a modern car headlight, including features like smart high beams, LEDs, etc., etc. But what's really neat about them is the use of parametric pixels. That's what all these little squares in the headlights are called. Hyundai has over 700 of these around the Ioniq 6, and it's kind of unique Ioniq design feature. It's on the Ioniq 5 as well. Here's why. Hyundai says that the defining feature of a car really used to be the grille, kind of let you know what brand the vehicle was from. That is now gone with electric cars for aerodynamic purposes, so the parametric pixels are the new defining feature of Ioniq. Hyundai says they want the Ioniq family to be like a chessboard. You know, all the pieces are clearly from the same game, right? But they all look very different. That's clear between Hyundai Ioniq 5 and 6. Now, looking at the front right here, the drag coefficient is 0.22. To give you reference of what that means, this car is extremely aerodynamic. The new Toyota Prius upstairs, which is already very, very aerodynamic, has a drag coefficient of 0.27. You have a drag coefficient of 0.7. These cars are way more aerodynamic than you are. The Mercedes EQS, a car that costs several times more than this, has a drag coefficient of around 0.2. So really incredible aerodynamics on this vehicle, and they are achieved with active aero flaps. Yes, that is right. A feature that was previously reserved for only the highest end hypercars is on the Hyundai Ioniq 6. Now, let's talk about the frunk in the Hyundai Ioniq 6, or lack thereof. If I open up the hood right here, you will see that there is very little space in this front, maybe enough for a charging cable or something like that. Now, if you've seen some of our previous electric videos, you would know that usually I would give cars a thumbs down for this. I usually like to see a bigger frunk, but then I spoke to some engineers and they told me this: the benefit of getting rid of the frunk is that you're moving all of the all the fluids, all the HVAC systems, etc., out of the dashboard area and up here where the internal combustion engine used to be. And that means that you can open up a huge swath of the interior, as we'll see in just a sec, and it makes the car feel so spacious and airy and roomy. So yes, you lose the ability to put a few extra cargo things up in the front, but in the majority of cases, you're better off because usually you're not using the frunk, you're using the interior of your car, and that gains a big improvement because of this design. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is a frunk a necessary feature for you? I will say the one reason I still like a big frunk is because I personally really like to go backpacking, skiing, etc., and it's real nice to put all my smelly, wet clothes in a lockable area with a drain in it that's separated from the cabin. However, I do think, after the engineers explained that to me, I do think this is probably the right move for a lot of people. At the side of Hyundai Ioniq 6, the Ioniq 6 can get 18 or 20 inch wheels. I think they look really good. Usually electric wheels look a bit like dinner plates. They're just no spokes or anything. The reason for that is to increase the aerodynamic performance and therefore the range of the vehicle. I think Hyundai has done a real nice job with that. Another aesthetic point, the sloping roofline. At first I was real concerned that sloping roofline was going to impede in rear headroom. I'm happy to report it does not. I was just in the Acura Integra, can't sit in the back of that vehicle. However, this one I absolutely can. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the looks of this vehicle. I've heard some divisive opinions here at the auto show, so let me know what you think. I genuinely quite like it. I want to talk about your charge port back here. You have a vehicle to load function. That is an electrically operated door. You open it up and you can A, of course, charge the car, but B, you can also charge large appliances, electric scooters, etc. from the vehicle and use this as the world's largest phone battery bank, if you would like. That is a real neat feature that Hyundai vehicles offer. Other features, some performance features that we'll talk about here. You have adjustable dampers. You have frequency-sensitive shock absorbers that are going to enable adjustable dampening. In addition, this vehicle has its own kind of form of torque vectoring. Remember, you can get separate motors for the front and the back, so it's going to be pretty easy to adjust the power separately front and back, and then it will also use the brakes to kind of hone in that torque vectoring effect. Really like the fact that this vehicle has tight integration with Apple Wallet and Samsung Key as well. So you can use your phone as a key, and it's not just through Hyundai's app. You can use the new native Apple Wallet feature for car keys, which is a really interesting feature. See, some other brands make you use their app. Some people, though, prefer using the Apple integration because it's tighter integration with the phone, the Apple ecosystem. You know how that whole thing is. Let me know what you think again, guys. I'm really interested to know what you think about the side. I quite like it. Let's jump to the rear. At the rear of Ioniq 6, this is where a bit of that 911 inspiration comes in. I definitely really like the way they did the spoiler here. It reminds me of an older 911. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The parametric pixels continue up here on the rear spoiler. They continue down here in the lighting. Those parametric pixels, they look really interesting. Definitely an interesting, unique feature from Hyundai. Now, if we want to open our trunk right here, we got a button that we can press and open up the trunk right here. You're gonna find 11.2 cubic feet of space here. Something I really like, you can easily put down that second row seating just by pulling here, and you reach through. Okay, maybe it's not so easy. There we go, got it. And you push down that second row seat. If you're liking the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more automotive content. All right, folks, let's get back into it. The interior of the Ioniq 6 is really, truly a flowing, clean, open interior. Especially the doors are just very minimalist and beautiful. Same with the front dashboard with its continuous lines throughout. Really nice looking interior, and a large part of that is enabled by that electric architecture. Remember, I mentioned that you can make a lot more space here by moving things where the combustion engine used to be. Because of that flat battery, that flat floor, you have all this open space now on the interior, and all this open space is going to look even better because you have ambient lighting in this vehicle. You can have up to you can change between 64 different colors with the ambient lighting. You have all the creature comforts you would expect, like a Qi wireless charger right here. Your steering wheel has 4 lights right here in the center, and those are going to display vehicle status information. For example, they could tell you the charge status of the vehicle. They could tell you if the voice assistant is activating. Nice feature right there. This is just a very clean. That's the only word I can really use to describe it. Interior. And it's clean for the environment as well because you have these great synthetic materials right here. A lot of, natural leather is something that you don't find often in electric cars because it's not considered very sustainable. The synthetic material is. In Ioniq 6, you have two 12.3-inch displays under the same piece of glass. This is your main infotainment display right here. Nice looking home menu right there. You can see we're currently listening to the sounds of nature, which is very much a trademark feature of Hyundai products. They have all sorts of fun nature sounds you can play, but you can see your map right there along with the vehicle status. That's probably where it'll be most of the time. You have some other features here that aren't going to work because currently the car is turned off, but you have, of course, your EV menu. Quiet mode is kind of interesting. It's going to dim down the speakers in the back. If you have someone sleeping back there, it will make that possible. Other than that, pretty standard infotainment system. I just want to call out, look how snappy it is. They did a real nice job with it. I would like to see in a future update, maybe glass instead of plastic over the front right here, but I also get that, sometimes that's not possible in vehicles that are trying to obtain affordable price points. The rear of Ioniq 6 is incredibly roomy. There's lots of headroom back here, and in addition, you have 2 pull-out cup holders right here, 2 USB-C ports down there, and air vents. And because this is an electric vehicle, you have a completely flat floor, so a little more space for the person who gets stuck in the middle. In Ioniq 6, you can get a rear motor or dual motor setup. With the rear motor setup, you're getting around 225 horsepower with a 168 kilowatt motor in the rear. Now, if you go for the dual option, you're going to get a 165 kilowatt motor in the rear and a 74 kilowatt motor in the front. The dual motor will be making 320 horsepower. The Hyundai Ioniq 6 is only one of a few super exciting cars in Hyundai's lineup right now. They have all of them here at the 2023 DC Auto Show. Guys, get ready for the 2024 DC Auto Show. Be sure to be there when it comes to town in early 2024. We hope to see you there. Thanks again to the DC Auto Show. Hyundai Ioniq 6 comes equipped with Hyundai SmartSense, which is their suite of active safety features, and it really is an impressive list. Hyundai SmartSense is one of the more impressive systems in the industry. For example, you have collision mitigation, and you also have blind spot monitoring, but this vehicle also combines those two features. It has blind spot collision avoidance. So not only is it going to let you know if there's someone in your blind spot, it's going to prevent you from merging into them. On the highway, this vehicle has Highway Driver Assist 2, which is going to keep you centered in your lane, control your speed, And Highway Driver Assist 2 is also going to help with features like changing lanes. And of course, you have all the other smart safety features you would expect, like traditional dynamic radar cruise control with stop and go functionality. Let's talk about the most impressive feature of this vehicle. That's going to be the battery. Now, let's talk range first. On the single motor, you can expect around 340 miles of range. On the dual motor, around 310 miles of range. But you're saying, whoa, that's a really far range, right? You know, oh, I won't have to charge. Well, you're probably right. On most trips, you're not gonna have to charge. But if you do, Hyundai's got you covered, right? You're doing a long 700-mile road trip. Guess what? This thing has 800-volt multi-charging. That is extremely fast charging. It can go from 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes. That is absolutely insane. And that's about 200, it's a little over 200 miles of range, around 217 miles of range. Now, you only have 5 minutes. That's okay. Plug in for 5 minutes. You're gonna get 65 miles of range at that speed. Absolutely crazy. With a level 2 charger, like the one you're gonna find in your house, it's gonna take around 7 hours to charge this thing up, so it'll charge up perfectly well overnight. Real nice features from Hyundai, and they're even giving you unlimited 30-minute charging sessions with Electrify America for the first 2 years you own the vehicle. What do you think of the Hyundai Ioniq 6? I really like it. I think it's a great looking vehicle. It's definitely also further grown on me the more I've been with it. The styling and whatnot has all become more interesting to me as I've been with it. And I think that range number is really impressive. So if you're looking for an electric vehicle, definitely consider the 6. Guys, thank you for watching our preview here at the 2023 DC Auto Show. We're working on arranging a full Hyundai Ioniq 5 review right now, so make sure you're subscribed for that. All right, gang, take care. We'll see you in next week's video.